Assalamu alaikum. In the most holy name of Almighty God Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom we forever and ever give praise and thanks for raising up in our midst a divine leader and spiritual guide in the person of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I greet my brothers and sisters in divine greetings of peace. So, Assalamu alaikum. I'd like to welcome you to your Black Muslim Bakers Business meeting. And you know, brothers and sisters, today, if we don't do something for ourselves, then we're lost. It's as simple as that. No longer can we depend upon others to do for us what we should do for ourselves. You know, it's just a shame. If you examine and analyze our condition in America as a people, if you have any insight at all, you realize that we're still a slave. I mean, when you really just begin to check it out on your job, some of you have good jobs, quote unquote, good jobs, you know, good house Negroes, good position, drive a nice car, nice apartment. But you see that invisible ceiling that prevents you from being free.
Think about that. Think about that.
The minute you begin to test your intelligence with the slave master, he puts you in your place, sometimes tactfully, sometimes subtle, but he lets you know, boy, you still my Negro. Girl, gal, you still my Aunt your mama. You my nanny. With your fine degree, your elegant English, you still my nanny. And you're my house mammy. And I want you to look after my house. And them sisters, boy, they can make you walk the carpet too. She's your supervisor.
Sure, you're right.
She's the vice president. If she's the clerk for the judge, or she can give you a hard way to go, because she wants to make sure the big house is ran properly.
Right.
So we're not free.
No, sir.
No matter what your position is, how much money you make, and what kind of car you drive, you're just a house Negro, still a slave in America.
That's right.
And if you have any kind of intelligence at all, you cannot deny this. In fact, the more education you have, the more you should bear witness to what I'm saying. I can understand that little high school dropout who thinks because he can sell some drugs and get high, he's free. But that's through ignorance. Well, what about you college graduates? What about you brothers and sisters who have these fine positions and you know how the slave master put you in check? You come up with a new idea. Come up with some way that will make you look a little bit more brighter than his white counterpartner. And see, don't he kind of put you in check, let you know, look, nigga. And you know it because, well, what he does, well, he's such a shrewd devil. And that's who he is. But he spoils you first. Gives you that fine house in the hills, that good ride, that you wear them fine clothes, and then he put you in check and say, look, boy, gal, if you want to keep that stuff you got, now you got to dance to my music. And then you wake up and say, gee, I'm still a slave, but I can't give up that house. I can't give up that ride. I'm not putting my fur coat back in there. So I guess I'll go and shuffle, scratch my head, keep my position. Still a slave in America. And this is why the IQ, the curveball the man is telling you about is that you're still retarded. Because if you weren't retarded, you look at the realities and say, look, take the coat, take the house. I'm a human being. I'm free. I'm intelligent. But no, you're retarded. He made you spoil. He spoiled you, made you lazy. It says, instead of you remembering that, as according to the teaching of Elijah Muhammad, he said, there's no God but man. If there's no God but man, who's the first man? We want to know our relationship with God and man, because if this white man say we're still a slave, if he says we're inferior, if he says we're retarded genetically, Let's go back and check that out. If I take a glass of water, 2 glasses, one empty and one full, and if I take the full glass and pour it into the empty glass, does the full glass have as much water in it as the empty glass has? No, because some of that water is going to stay in there. So this glass that I filled up from this glass, it's not going to be as full as this one was. Is that right? Then if you're the original people and white folks came out of you, how in the world can they be greater than you when they came out of you, which means there's less in them than it was in the beginning? That's you, the original people. So they take scientists to tell you about your IQ. Listen to this. When all the time you say, I am all understanding. You black man, I am all understanding. How can you be all understanding? Because you're directly related to the Creator. Anything less than you can't be all understanding because they're not all of anything. They are grafted. Grafted. What does graft mean? To take from something. These white people, I tell you, brothers and sisters, they're not our worst enemy. We are our worst enemy. We got an election coming up in Oakland. Watch you look out and see a little cloud. I'm not going out and voting this rain. Watch your turnout. See how many of you stay at home. Well, God don't want me to vote today. This goes against Allah. You're just lazy and retarded. If you don't want to make some decisions on that job you on, if you don't want to have some kind of power in the mayor's house, then shut up and take what you're going to get. Because let me tell you something. There are forces in the other world that want to come and take over this world that you live in. And they don't owe you anything. You can cop that old plea now, well, a white man made us a slave. That's why we on drugs. White man made us a slave. That's why I beat up the old folks and rob people. Now what happens when the Asians come in and they become your slave master? What you gonna say then? Did the Asians do that to you? No, you be around saying, arigato gozaimasu. You be trying to learn you some Asian so you can get a job. Why? You're retarded. And the man tells you in the Newsweek, in the books, right to your face, you say, but I'm not retarded, I got a degree. Well, you got a job. The degree didn't free you. The degree is not an expression of your intelligence until you own something.
Right.
You must own something to show how intelligent you are. We've had jobs ever since slavery. Cotton picking jobs, cotton chopping jobs, dishwasher, mammies. You remember, sisters, when you used to nurse the white babies? When the white woman would give you the black baby and say, nurse this baby from your breast. She had a breast, but why did she want you to nurse the baby from your breast? Because by you being original, Allah created you with the very best antibiotics by nature within the milk from your breast. But when you grafted someone from original, then that was void in the white woman's breast. So the white man said, nurse my babies, black woman. But you don't know who you are. You just thought you just had maybe bigger breasts. Thought maybe the master was favoring you because of your ignorance. Not genetically, but by your environment that was created by the Caucasian to make you think you're less than what you are. So the lesser of us could rule us. That makes sense. Why don't you wake up, black folks, and go to the polls? This is a new day now. Don't tell me what was said 30 or 40 or 60 years ago. You're in a new day now. Your children's future depend upon your action. Rain or shine, get out and vote. And when they look up and say, hey, 40% of the black folks in Oakland voted, that means 40% of the black folks becoming conscious of themselves, conscious of the condition we're living in. Regardless of who wins, they got to come to you. When you lay at home and make excuses, well, so-and-so didn't vote, Jesus didn't vote. Brothers and sisters, we have to wake up today. Your children's future depends. There's a lot of money going to come. Look, do you know, brothers and sisters, there's a lot of money allocated to this city. And you're not going to get a dime on a job. The only way that money goes to you is you're an owner. You're a contractor. The government makes sure you get a certain percentage of money that's allocated to contracts in this area if you're an owner. But if you're looking to get a job, white contracts don't get all the money.
Right.
Millions and millions of dollars are allocated to Oakland. And watch you see white contractors from other cities will come in and get that money right above you because you don't vote. You sit back at home saying, oh, if it's the will of Allah, inshallah. Blame God for everything. Blame God for your laziness.
Right.
Blame God for your ignorance. Instead of tying your camel, vote and then say, inshallah, whatever's the will of Allah. Do your part first. Get out of that Spookville. Ain't no mystery God in the sky protecting you. Some of you say, well, you can't be afraid. You better wake up and be aware what God is doing. I am all understanding. Blessed he who reads the Bible and understands it.
Yeah.
I am all understanding. I'm all intelligent, regardless of what they put in the Newsweek, regardless of what they say about the IQ. That's no expression of the black man. When you see that IQ describing how intelligent we are, that is because of the environment. That's the limit of the environment that taught us that. They only taught us that limit, not that that's your capabilities. And we're such people all the way back to Carver and the peanut. Carver wouldn't even accept any money. They offered Carver. He won the prize, Nobel Prize. Offered him hundreds of thousands of dollars for winning that prize. He said, no, I don't want to accept no money. Good slave. Good slave. If he was so wealthy, why didn't he say, I'll take this money and build a scholarship for an underprivileged black man who can't read and write? You see, but we don't think like that. We house Negroes. We love the master. Love the master. Master, what you want me to do, master? And the master tells the world, my Negroes are retarded. No more welfare for them Negroes. No food stamps for them Negroes. No affirmative program for them Negroes. Why? Because they're genetically inferior. What good is it going to do? Put that money in their community. They're not going to do any better. All they're going to do is sell drugs and kill one another. Tell the world. But you don't talk about the carvers. You don't talk about the inventors of all the things that white folks enjoy every day. Because we're slaves. They have no respect for slaves. You better get up and do something for yourself,